Hey guys, YouTube Bar 100 here. Alright, and now here I am with another Christmas review. And for my next Christmas review, I told you guys that I was going to be reviewing another Nickelodeon Christmas special. And so, yeah, this is going to be a review for that. And yeah, and for this review, this is going to be a review for the Doug Christmas special, Doug's Christmas Story. So yeah, so this was this episode was like during the final season of the Nickelodeon Doug series. Yeah, and this one, this one is just very, it's really different when it comes to Christmas specials because, yeah, there's not really like anything about this special that really is like about Christmas because, yeah, there's like nothing like regarding like any sort of like actual Christmas story or anything. Like it's not about like getting a gift or like showing the existence of Santa or anything like that. So yeah, it's once again it's kind of similar to the Hey Arnold Christmas special. How like with like the other Nickelodeon specials I've talked about, like those have like more like Christmas themed stories, and this one really does not. It's not even something like the Hey Arnold special where it shows like you're like trying to really like show what Christmas is really about and everything. Yeah, it's not even really about that. Like, there's nothing really like sort of like Christmas themed about this special. Really, all it really has like regarding Christmas is that it takes place like during Christmas. Like most of this episode is like set like during Christmas Eve. So yeah, so that's basically like the only sort of connection that this special really does have to Christmas. So I'm not really entirely sure like why they decided to like have this like be like take place during Christmas when not really anything Christmas is themed is really like in this special. So yeah, what this special really is about is like in this episode, Doug's dog Pork Chop, like a Pork Chop is like a Pork Chop is like accused of actually like kind of like being a mad dog because yeah, as this episode starts, it shows that like Doug and his friends are like playing hockey on ice, like just like a an ice pond. But yeah, when Pork Chop like sees that there's like a portion of thin ice on the lake, he really just tries to keep away from it. And like when BB like ends up going like towards the thin ice, like Pork Chop really like tries to get BB to safety, but he does so by actually pulling her by the leg. Like he actually like has her leg in his mouth, and he actually pulls BB away. But because like he actually did like technically bite BB on the leg, like BB was ended up being hurt when Pork Chop saved her, and Pork Chop was like really just considered of actually like attacking BB when he was really trying to save her. Yeah, so even Doug really is like disappointed that Pork Chop like supposedly bit BB for no reason. He's in so as a result, like the word gets out like to like the press and on the radio of what Pork Chop did. So yeah, so Pork Chop is like taken into custody by the police, and he's put on trial. And Doug really, in this episode, really is just like trying to like really just convince a everybody that Pork Chop was not like really trying to hurt BB because later on Doug like does realize that Pork Chop was really like trying to do something, but he really didn't know what. So yeah, so basically for most of this episode, Doug is really just trying to like convince everybody that Pork Chop was not intending to actually hurt BB or anything. So yeah, so that's really like what this special is really about. So yeah, so it's not really anything like really Christmas themed about this episode. They just say like this is like during Christmas time. That's like the only sort of Christmas connection this special really does have. Yeah. As far as this episode goes, gosh, I mean, I don't know. Just I feel that this really is just like what this special really does do. I feel that it's just really jumping the shark. I mean, all this over just like somebody being injured by being bitten by a dog, and like this much pandemonium breaks out. How like it gets this much attention, and Pork Chop is arrested and put on trial. Like seriously, what are we even watching here? So yeah, so it really is just like very really push like just jumping the shark, and just even like if we just even do like see that this really is just like a cartoon and it's not really happening. It really just really does seem like just this. It really just really gets like very silly, and it just you really are just thinking that it's like really stupid for something like this to really happen to a dog. Yeah. And plus, also just the way that Pork Chop gets treated in here, just as you see, just like he is like being taken away by the police over like something, just like because he ended up just biting BB. Like, I mean, come on, like this is a very common thing. Like a lot of dogs end up biting people, so it's not even that big of a deal. So yeah, I just really don't see like why this it gets this much attention, and Pork Chop is just like he just ends up like being taken into custody, like just yeah this just gets like so silly, and yeah it just is like so over the top and jumping the shark. It just really gets like really dumb as you're watching it. So yeah, and just like seeing just like the connection, like we see that how much of a history Doug and Pork Chop really do have with each other. Like just when you see like how much like Doug really does want the Pork Chop to be just like a taken out of this, just to show everyone is innocent. Just when you see like what Pork Chop is really put through, it really does seem like kind of mean spirited. And I think like a lot of kids that do have dogs would get like kind of depressed watching this. So yeah. So I just really don't know what I can really say about this. Just it's very depressing. It's very just over the top with jump, and it's jumping the shark. And yeah, it just is really just even like watching it as a just a cartoon, you really are just like thinking that it really will like make you like feel that this is just really stupid. And so yeah, so I just really don't know what I can really say about this. 'Cause, yeah, just it's because I really do find it really stupid. Because as it opens up, like when we do like see the incident with Pork Chop saving BB, like you mean to say like none of the other kids, like as the kids are playing hockey, you mean to say that none of them actually do see that it is thin ice? I mean, we even do see like when Pork Chop discovers the thin ice, like the ice really does start to crack around it. So you mean to say that none of the other kids actually noticed it, and you mean to say that none of them even did realize what Pork Chop really was doing? Because even Chalky, like he says that he saw the whole thing when they see that BB is hurt. Doug, he just tells Doug that he saw the whole thing, how Pork Chop just came from right from behind BB and bit her. So yeah, so it just gets like it just is really dumb to really think that none of the other kids really did see what happened. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, and yeah, Pork Chop throughout the episode, like he really does like try to like show like Doug and everybody like what he was actually trying to do, but because Pork Chop can't talk, nobody really does like know exactly what he's doing, and they just think that he's acting crazy. Yeah, even like when Doug does scold Pork Chop, and tells him to go into his igloo to think about what he did, Doug really does start to feel like a remorse for it, but then eventually, like as I said, just the former Mayor White, because yeah, this was at this point in the show, like he was no longer the mayor, as he was like hosting a radio station, like the word got to him about Pork Chop's attack on BB, and then yeah, it showed like just like every like the police and just a whole bunch of forces just were surrounding the funny house, and yeah, they took Pork Chop away, like they had him like muzzled and chained up and everything. Just is it getting this much attention? Like it was just a freaking like supposed dog attack. Ugh, gosh, yeah, yeah. And Doug throughout the episode, he really just does try to like convince everybody that Pork Chop really is a good dog and he would never hurt anybody. But yeah, his plans end up failing because like everybody is really just thinking about like Christmas coming up, yeah, yeah, and then then it gets even worse when like on TV it shows like there's like a very exaggerated reenactment of of what Pork Chop did, because they were making Pork Chop like just seem like he was just like very just mad and had it out of control. He actually like went like just completely annihilated BB. Yeah. So then, Doug really like tried to convince Mr. Bluff that like a pork chop was good and just not to like go this far about it. But Mr. Bluff was really just saying how he hates dogs and pork chop needs to be taken away and locked up and all this stuff. Yeah, yeah. And then eventually, yeah, and pork chop like is like put on trial and goes into court, which is really stupid. Like I said, yeah, yeah. And then then when like pork chop is just like being just accused of like all the stuff like saying that like he has the resemblance of a killer hog, and like just pork chop was like acting crazy because like he was still like really trying to charade what he was really doing, yeah. And when just everything was looking very bad for pork chop, with like BB showing that she was like now in a wheelchair with a cast on her leg, like eventually then Doug then just like asked for pork chop to get his side of the story, and he just like reminded everybody like what pork chop has like done for everybody in Bluffington. Then the judge then allowed pork chop to really just like explain his side of the story. So then, when they went out to the Lucky Duck Lake where the kids were skating at, as BB was like showing where Pork Chop attacked her, like she was heading towards the thin ice, and then Pork Chop was like trying to save her, but the guards were holding him back. But then eventually, when BB then fell through the ice into the water, then Pork Chop then broke free, and then went into rescue BB. And then right there, that's when everybody then realized what Pork Chop really was trying to do, and that he wasn't actually attacking BB in the first place. So after that, then that's when Pork Chop was then cleared of everything and considered a hero by Bluffington. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Then later on, then BB and Mr. Bluff then apologized to Doug and Pork Chop, and so they invited the funnies over, and then was holding a family dinner for all the dogs that were in the pound Pork Chop was locked up in. And then the episode then just ended with Mr. Bluff proposing a toast to all the dogs at Bluffington, and then the episode then just ended with like them singing Christmas carols, and then we like see like a card with the funnies on it saying season's greetings and stuff. And so and that's how the episode ended. So so I don't know. I mean, even though like we do like the people do learn what Pork Chop really was doing in at the end of the episode, and Pork Chop ended up like being cleared of everything. Just when you see, just seeing like Pork Chop really go through all this, and just seeing like how much Doug like is really trying to help Pork Chop, just watching this being done, it gets really depressing. So as a kid, I didn't even like really watch this one all that much. Like I did watch like a lot of other Nickelodeon Christmas specials more than this one, because even as a kid, I did find this to just be very depressing. Seeing like Pork Chop he was just trying to help BB, and then he gets accused of attacking her, and then he goes through all this stuff. I mean, it really just does kind of like show you that you really do kind of like get a taste of like when an innocent person is convicted of a crime and just all the stuff they go through. So I don't know. I guess this is just seems very depressing for me. I don't know like how a lot of other people really do feel about it. Maybe like you can really just look past that and just remember that this is just a cartoon and it's not really happening. But I just find this whole thing like it's jumping the shark. It just gets really silly and dumb, and just like seeing all this stuff happen to Pork Chop is just very depressing. So I really don't think that I'm really going to be watching this one all that much. It's like I really haven't even watched it all that much, but I really don't think that after seeing this again, I'm not really going to be going back to see this one. And I honestly really don't recommend watching this. I think that it's just too depressing. But I mean, that's just me. You guys maybe feel completely different, but me personally, I just don't think I'm really going to be putting this on again. All right. So, yeah, so I guess this is all I can really say about this. So, yeah, so I'm sorry if this really wasn't the review that you guys were really hoping for, but yeah, I just really thought I would check this out since I've like seen like a lot of other Nickelodeon Christmas specials. I figured I would just give this one a review too. Yeah. But thankfully, this was not the only Doug Christmas special that was done. Of course, like later on, there would be like another Doug Christmas special made, which I'm sure a lot of you do know which one I'm talking about. A one that is like more Christmas themed and one that's not nearly as depressing. But so they did make that one, and that one I will talk about in my next Christmas review. So stay tuned for that one coming up next. All right. But I hope you guys did enjoy what I had to say about this, even though, like, I might have disappointed some of you. But yeah, I'm just being honest with what I'm saying about here. So yeah. But yeah, hopefully you guys did enjoy what I had to say about this. Yeah, so yeah, but stay tuned because I got more coming up. All right. But yeah, so that does it for this review. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.